Hey guys, here's something a little different, and I know the content's been dry, but I plan to fix that starting right now. I was inspired. Funny, the alicorn of inspiration got inspired by someone or something. It's time to bring wrestling content to this channel. Serious this time. The inspiration comes from one of my newest subscribees, the Titantron, a small-scale weekly wrestling podcast on your normal podcast spots and on YouTube. I'll try to link his channel in the end cards there so you can get to him and give his brand of podcasting a shot. But in his recent 100 subscriber special, which I'm part of the reason it happened, he brought up a new segment. A good idea. The segment's called If I Had the Pennies. And he decided to make himself a small WrestleMania 37 card. Now, granted, in the videos, he used the WrestleMania Hollywood logo, but of course, we all know that's not the case. It's back in Raymond James Stadium once again, so I'm gonna have a go, in the words of Adam Blombe. I'm going to book a WrestleMania 37 card to counter his own. Now, please check out his video with this short card and then check out mine, or vice versa, and tell us both who won out. Now, I'm going to do a short card, 5 matches, similar to his card, and then I'm going to do a true card. WrestleManias are usually 10 to 12 matches. Through the second card, I will be fantasy booking 12 matches. For his counter card, I'll be booking 5. So let's start out with the counter card. Seeing that he went with 5 matches and a winner take all theming, I'm gonna go proper to his idea with some theming. Seeing that it's back in Florida and pirate is the theme, this short card counterclaim will be called Getting Back What's Ours. Stealing or getting something that's been long since unattained. Now, let's counter with this. He unified the tag titles and he unified the Universal and Intercontinental titles in his short book. I plan to do one of those things and step it up one better. For the short card, the opener will be a tag team title unification match, but it won't be the Fatal 4-Way that you saw before. Instead, to counter my friend the Titantron, I propose this. A tag team title unification tournament that will start taking place sometime in February, first week, featuring 16 tag teams, including tag teams from NXT. Even the new MSK tag team that just recently made a debut in the Dusty Classic. The tag team tournament will include, of course, the previous champions, the Street Profits, and of course, Ziggler and Rude are current champions, uh, as well as the Raw champs, the Hurt Business, and because the New Day is also in the tournament, will also allow the Freebird rule to take place. Any configuration of the New Day can take on any configuration of the Hurt Business, and vice versa in the matches in this tournament. But also, great tag teams like Imperium will also find their way back, and also Jimmy and Jay, health willing, will also be thrown into this tournament. They might be a late last minute surprise entry taking out one of the other teams. Let's say they take out, I don't know, a tag team of Sami Zayn and Drew Gulak all of a sudden, and they insert themselves into the tournament proper. But when all is said and done, we're left with not just 4 teams, we're left with 6. A 6-team tag team ladder match for the unified tag titles. On one side, you have Street Profits, and also you have the Usos representing SmackDown. On the Raw side of the coin, of course, you have the Hurt Business and the New Day, because why not? There are the 4 key teams here. Now the 5th and 6th teams both come from NXT. The 5th team is the Undisputed Era. Riley and Fish, and also you get MSK. Why MSK? Well, they just debuted. Chances are they'll dominate the Dusty Classic and win it, and this is a good way to springboard off of that win. Plus, throwing NXT in the mix keeps it interesting. However, to keep up with the theme of the night, as well as foreshadow some future booking, the Usos will be the tag team to unify the titles. Now, Jay's night isn't necessarily done here, though. Now, in terms of women's matches, there's only one really we need to book here. And that's why I'm gonna book it. Fatal 4-Way. Unifying both titles again. Unification be the key word here. Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, and Sasha Banks. These 4 will fight to unify the titles. Charlotte can get involved in the storyline, but seeing that she's got daddy issues, we're gonna leave her out of the mix right now. In fact, it's Lacey Evans and Rick that ends up costing her an opportunity to get into the match all together during a women's elimination chamber for the Raw women's title, in which Alexa will retain the title there. Thanks to Lacey, there's no Charlotte, and we're just going to assume there's no Becky Lynch here. So no Becky Lynch, no Ronda Rousey, just keeping it strictly to the young Bulls. Now, any of these four women could realistically win this match, and should, by the by. But in the end, I go with the youngest talent. Although the Street Profits may have lost the titles, Mrs. Montez Ford brings gold back into the Profits' abode and becomes our new unified champion. Now I know most people would counter with, why not Sasha Banks? She's popular coming off of The Mandalorian. She's a great unified champion. And if not Bianca Belair, I would at least entertain this. But WrestleMania is about making new stars, making stars bigger. At least that's what the WWE should be doing with the Showcase of the Immortals. And that's why Bianca Belair wins here. Match 3 and Match 4 are both historical grudge matches with some high-end stakes and some special effects. The fifth match is, of course, for the Unified World titles. But I'll save that idea here for a second. The first match, of course, being Randy Orton versus The Fiend. And seeing that fire seems to be the key word, and we've done Inferno matches and everything else, I think it's time for one of these legends, either the spooky legends of the Fiend or the spooky legend of Randy Orton, to hit the bricks. The best way to do this is by bringing back an old classic setup. And this is a good way to have The Undertaker make a cameo if you absolutely need it in a short card like this. I'm talking about Buried Alive. But let's add a little bit of spice to this. Not only must you bury your opponent alive to win this match, you must also set the grave on fire. Maintaining the fire motif, of course. These two will no doubt go back and forth, and you can even make it a cinematic match of sorts, in reference to the Boneyard match, to connect the two WrestleManias together, and say that the Buried Alive match is taking part on the same part of The Undertaker's land that he drove off of last year. These two have a fight, the puppets get involved, Alexa tries her best, and even the Fiend shifts from his different personalities, from Husky Harris, the Swamp Bray, to Old Fiend, to obviously the upcoming new Fiend. And this is when Randy Orton can finally, after all these years, get his comeuppance. You can also have a nice tribute to Brody Lee in the matchup, with the Fiend using discus clotheslines and the bludgeon bomb being used as he's channeling the spirit of Eric Rowan in the match. And even bringing up a power slam, circa Braun Strowman, echoing the history there. And you can have old audio cues and whispers of legends that Randy Orton has kayfabe killed. Ric Flair, Mick Foley, among others. So ultimately, get Bray Wyatt the win, take Randy Orton out, and heck, you can even have Edge be the one that causes Randy Orton to finally fall into the grave and into the pit of his doom. The second grudge match of sorts is for the Intercontinental title. Big E will have to defend his title against Jey Uso. If he can beat Jey Uso and keep the Intercontinental title, he'll be future booked into the match that I have set up for later. But of course, with Jey coming off the huge win in the tag team match, he's a little beat up. But he has his boys. He has Roman and Apollo to back him up, which causes a temporary reunion of the New Day crew in this sense. But even with that, it is not enough, as Jey Uso will win the Intercontinental title, keeping Big E out of the loop. Now, as for the main event of our short card video, we're gonna dust off a classic for this one, with a twist. A few years ago, the WWE introduced a match known as the Championship Scramble. And for this Championship Scramble, we're doing a 10-manner. A 10-manner for the Unified Championships. That's right. One man to rule them all. So, you have your champions of note. Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns. You have their contenders of note. Keith Lee, Kevin Owens. Heck, even throw some love towards others. But ultimately, you get the 10 men. Heck, you can even throw in Goldberg and Lesnar to make up the list of 10. But, more importantly, you throw in Adam Cole from the Undisputed Era. You throw in Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and, yes, even the NXT champion himself, hopefully by this point, Karrion Kross. The goal? 30 minutes. Person with the active pinfall when the 30 minutes are up is the champion of champions, winning both the Universal and WWE titles and becoming the pseudo tribal chief. It's a way to make off with the bounty, per se. The ultimate bounty. This match would be fast and furious. Going up, down, left to right, near under. You have many options here, but there's one option I would do. To put a capper to the tribal chief's rise to power, he wins the championship scramble, unifying the Universal and WWE titles, but not without some interesting opposition from one Karrion Kross to set up a future feud for the rest of the year. Lesnar gets taken out by Drew. Gargano, and Ciampa naturally renew their hostilities and take each other out. And Adam Cole makes an impressive but just fall short appearance, as well as Keith Lee. With the 10-man scramble out of the way, that's my short card. The next video I plan to do in about a day or so will be the long card. We're going 10 matches deep, covering all the championships and even some of the funner spots. A true WrestleMania card, if you will. But make sure to check out the Titantron's podcast celebrating his 100 subscriber mark and his segment on making a short card known as If I Had the Pen, to see which one of us created the more interestingly diverse storyline here. Now, until the long card, and yes, I know, I got a bunch of Pony Life stuff to catch up on. In fact, I'm planning to do it all in one solid video, if you would permit me. So until then, I'm Nirvana Sparkle. Find peace in your own Nirvana. I'll see you later.